Sweating to the truth, nothing but the truth. Put my hands on the Bible, y'all point me to the booth. Sweating to the truth.
So God is using Kanye to awaken the nations. I know a lot of people don't want to hear that, but it's the truth. Now, I need people to realize that this isn't about Kanye. This isn't Ye's way, it's Yahweh. But God is using somebody who's been on both platforms, who's been rich, who's got money, black, and who's been broke and black. You know what I'm saying? Who can relate to both sides, who knows what's going on the inside scoop in both areas. And we talking about one of the wealthiest black men, one of the wealthiest black men in the world. God is using him. Now, at the end of the day, he might have said, he might be a little rough around the edges or whatever, but I do believe when he gets around a group of people who's really Holy Spirit filled, who's really all for him, who's really walking with God and really praying for him and really, helping to hold him accountable and walk with him. I do believe things will straighten out for him. Nonetheless, God is using him. And he's using him to expose the corruption that's going on in Hollywood and in the media. And he knows this so much so because he was one of those people that they were using. He was one of those puppets. And by they, y'all know who I mean. I'll just say media. But he was one of those puppets who they were using to enslave black people. That's the thing. People act as if like he just kind of talking out the side of his neck. No, bro. Like he's literally speaking from experience and saying, "Hey, I was one of those guys. I was one of those people who was being used to push things off on you. And because I'm a leader, or I'm looked up to as a leader, because people idolize me and I know it, and we can see that these people are idolized because of the trends that's set after them, because of the billboards charts that set after them, because of how crazy the fans are after them, how, you know what I'm saying, to see that people support and really idolize and look up to these leaders, because a lot of time your money is the closest thing to you. So if you spending a lot of money to listen to these people, to listen to their music, to see them perform and all that, Word of God does say that your treasure is where your heart will be. But to get back to the point, what Kanye is saying, hey, I used to be one of those people that was promoting this stuff to keep you basically in the trends, to keep you basically in the matrix. But now what he's doing, he's seeing the foolery, he's seeing the buffoonery, and he's stepping out and saying, hey, this isn't right. I like one thing that he said, between two individuals who are in high places. I'm just say the names. Hillary Clinton came to his wife and was just basically trying to get him to appeal to his black audience, talking about taking the jab, and voting and things like that. And we definitely know that these are the very people that's all for Planned Parenthood. That's all for the LMNOP body, and it's all for pushing this stuff off on kids, and it's all for carving kids up, teaching teaching this sex ideology, this gender this sexual orientation and gender ideology to the children, and so much, and so much more. But people not seeing that. And so when he step out, and he say what he say, like when he said in Noriega's podcast, Drink Champs, when he said this is the real anti-Semitic, and he said FOB, killing FOB, killing, y'all know what I'm saying, FOB, kill it, and he kept saying FOB, kill it. Hold on, bro, you on to something. But don't nobody get bothered by that. To the black culture, that's normal. We used to, and what's even sad about it is when a black person kills another black person, there's no protest, there's no speaking out. Might be a few cries, there might be a few posts about it for a couple of days. Of course, the service is held and things like that. But after that, we on to the next. It is what it is. So many rappers have gotten killed, and we just treat it just like it's another thing. Just treat it like it's another day. But because we normalize this stuff in our music, like that's really what it is. That's what we expect. That's what we expect from us. And what Kanye was doing, he was stepping out and was just like, nah, bruh, I'm not gonna say these things. I'm not gonna do this stuff no more. For one, how is it that Rick Ross can say, put Molly's all in her champagne, she don't even know it, took her home, had fun with that, she don't even know it? How is it that Lil Baby can talk about HIV and talk about a man giving giving fellatio to another man in the car for $50? I don't know where he came up with that stuff at, but I really don't care either. And they get their hands spanked, but their music had always been promoting killing, stealing, drug dealing, violence, perpetuating victimhood, and misogyny, degrading women, all that stuff. But they don't get the spank on their hand from the black community or from any other community. They don't get it from media either. They never did or ever do. But those be the ones that be the real sellouts. And what Kanye is doing is stepping out of that and saying, and separate from that and saying, no, like I'm not gonna be used as your slave. No, I'm not gonna be used as your slave no more to push this to pass this junk down. And the thing was, he was so connected to these labels and things like that he had, that there was stuff that he had to get inside, had to tie to, and things that he had to do. But now he's a free man. He's able to say whatever he wants to say and do whatever he wants to do. But what the funny part about all this is, though, is that he's the one that's being called the bootlicker or the house Negro. You know what I'm saying? Or the coon. He's the one. He's the one that's being called these things for saying, no, I'm not gonna let the media enslave me. I'm not gonna let the media enslave me no more. I'm not gonna push this stuff that I was. So like he's literally but people calling him crazy. People calling him crazy because he's getting out of that. He's stepping away from that. But he's really he's really on to something and telling you the truth. Again, he might be a little rough around the edges about things that he say. People's feelings get so hurt about everything now, and people don't know how to take constructive criticism. People don't know how to chew the meat, spit out the bone. People don't know how to read between the lines on things. They just take things. They just take stuff and get so hurt. When the whole time the wolves in sheep clothing, the wolves in the sheep clothing are the one that's attacking Kanye. They're the ones that's talking about. They're the ones that's keeping that's perpetuating this victimhood. They're the ones that's continuously talking about this killing. They're the ones that continuously promote and that continuously push and peddle this stuff down to y'all. And we don't, and people just up there receiving it and glorifying and worshiping it. Because people are in the maze. People are stuck in the maze. It's crazy to me, bro. People are stuck in the maze and can't even see when somebody is saying, hey, freedom is this way, not this way. Mind control is this way. We going against the grain this way. But I get it though. I get it. Usually people that go against the grain, they're not normal to the status quo. They're gonna always be different. So I get it. Even with this video, I know a lot of people not gonna agree. You know what I'm saying? I know people gonna have nasty stuff to say. It is what it is. I'm at that point now. I really don't even care. But I'm just letting y'all know. The people that's really the sellouts, or that's really the coons, that's really the house Negroes, that's really working on the plantations for the puppets, are the ones that's not doing what he doing. Are the ones that's cool with talking about killing niggas and degrading our own women. Think about think about that for 1 minute. Because one of the major problems is that we're making everything about the white man and police brutality, when the truth is abortion and black on black crime are the two big issues. Those are the two things that's really killing black people, is abortion and black on black crime. But listen to the music. Listen to the music. I don't know where we get off thinking that music don't have power, and like these people are literally being glorified. And then look at the movies, how they portraying us in the movies. Pimps, thugs, gangsters. You know what I'm saying? Our women always be sex symbols. If as a black woman, a lot of times, if you got a good looking body, they gonna start making you out to be a sex symbol. And then that's what black women literally looked at. And then from then on, any woman that has a nice looking body, don't matter what color you are in, and it originated from the black woman, it seems like you're now used as the sex symbol. You're now seen that as the sex symbol because you have a nice shape. But look at what we're portrayed as. And look at what we're accepting in real life. Look at what our little boys want to grow up today. Look at the examples that our children got. Like nobody is blowing up. Nobody really blowing up Thomas Sowell. I bet it's a lot. I bet nobody don't even know him. I just learned about him about 2 years ago. Nobody talking about Thomas Sowell. But I bet you I bet you they talking about a lot of these people who's perpetuating victimhood, who's saying that racism is the problem. What about fatherlessness? That's over 70% of the issue in the black home. But nobody's talking about that. But when we do talk about that, we're the ones that's labeled as the coons and the sellouts. No, bro. No. What we're doing is showing you how to get free. What we're doing is showing you what they got going not the way. Because all they're going to do is make you give your power over to these fakes, to these celebrities, to these politicians who don't care nothing about you. They just using you as a means to an end to accomplish their goal and and that's it. But us telling you what we telling you, saying, hey, you have the power. You have the power. You go this way, you have the power. You don't have to look up to them. Like a lot of people don't realize, and this is just making so much sense to me, and I'm understanding it now, and it's crazy because I didn't at first. But if we stop giving our money to these artists who promote the garbage, these rap artists who promote garbage, if we stop giving our money to them and to these companies and to these movie industries who literally portray this specific image of black people, you know that they would have to succumb, that they would have to cater to our need, because that's the point and purpose of a business, is to serve your customer. What is it that your customer wants? What's the customer's always right. What is it that the customer wants? If I'm not spending my money on it, and boycotting, if a lot of people not spending their money on that, I guarantee you we will see a major change. But people, we first have to develop some morals. It's the right morals, the right values, the right principles, the things that really matter in life, and not pursue after these vain things. You get what I'm saying? Like we can really come together and make things happen. We can really see a change. We can really see a change in our communities, but it's gonna have to take an effort on you. It's gonna have to take an effort on all of us to be like, hey, no more of this. I'm tired of the black on black killing. Let's start peddling. Let's start peddling some positive music out there. Let's start building one another up. Let's start encouraging one another. Let's start encouraging our youth. Let's make them change the billboard. Let's make them change the billboards to positive music, to music that builds one another up. Let's stop giving them our money. But the truth is that you have to realize that this is something that you want, and these are people that you look up to. It don't start with them, it starts with you. You have the power, but they don't want you to realize that. They want you to idolize them. And we, as black people, got so much taken away from us, and a lot of us don't even know our identity. So we feel like a couple chains, a watch, a nice car, a lot of material things, power, wealth is really gonna make us somebody. And when we get into these positions, and things like that, we're just used because we're just used as a puppet because we've become another sellout. It ain't about it. It's not about none of that. It's about realizing the wealth that's already in you, the power that you've already been given, the change that you can make right now where you at. No matter if you working a 9 to 5 or being a janitor, or you own half of America. The change starts with you. You got the power, bro. Don't let these people lie to you and make you think that, for instance, you got to take the jab in order to keep this. You know what? Cool, fine. I'm good with that because think about this. If everybody actually teamed up and knew their power, if everybody actually teamed up and walked out of that job together, you know what their job gonna do? Oh man, well, you know what? No, y'all don't have to get it. You know why? Because they finna go out of work. Because you're the asset. You're the important one. You know what I'm saying? That's what we have to realize as a people. It's not the politicians. It's not the politicians and the celebrities. And the celebrities, that's the important ones. Don't get me wrong, everybody is important. So I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is, these people in these high places, by what they're doing and what they're pushing off on you, what they're pushing off on us, they think that we're stupid and we can't conduct on our own. But the truth is that as long as we're giving them our money, as long as we're giving them our power, then they're just going to continue to keep feeding us the garbage because we just showing them that's what we want. So I don't want to way over, but man, bro, this was it. But yes, please know, he's using Kanye to awaken the nation, for people to see it's time to rise up, and it's time to stop giving your money to these people who are promoting garbage and who are promoting filth. It's time to start investing in yourself. It's time to start educating yourself. It's time to start where you at. Start picking up a book to better yourself and to be able to better another person. Because this world is about serving. You can reach those people that God has called you to. But man, I love y'all. Like, share, subscribe, comment. I know people ain't gonna agree with it. Feel free to speak your piece. That's what this is all about. I'll be honored for you to do so.
Swear to tell the truth, nothing but the truth. Put my hands on the Bible, y'all point me to the booth. Swear to tell the truth.